Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to our English Grammar Tips. Today our topic is Concept and Aims of Education, Unit number 1, Code 6500. सबक पर चलने से पहले मैं आपसे ये ज़रूर कहूँगा कि चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिए ताकि आप जो है वो आपको न्यू अपडेट्स मिलती रहें। आगा इंग्लिश ग्रामर टिप्स को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक करें और शेयर करें। थैंक यू। Introduction. The general notions of education a few thousand years ago was that of someone assigning lessons a group of young people and punishing them for their mistakes. But now, with the introduction of several communication media in transferring the sophisticated knowledge into simple and understandable form with substantial changes in the educational norms as well as the norms of the teachers, the system of education is moving towards a speedy evaluation. आपको पता है कि आजकल जो टीचिंग सिस्टम है, एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, उसके अंदर रेवोल्यूशंस आ रहे हैं, बड़ा स्पीड से एवेलुएशंस हो रही हैं उसमें. एजुकेशन इज़ द प्रोसेस ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग डिज़ायरेबल चेंज into behavior of human beings. It can also be defined as the process of imparting and acquiring knowledge and habits through instructions or study. When learning or progressing towards goals that have been established in accordance with the philosophy which has been defined for and is understood by the learner is called education. As a society develops, it becomes imperative that the cumulative experience and the knowledge necessary for political, economic, social and other developments should be passed on to new generations or to the people who needs. This knowledge, the accepted customs, norms, values, skills which are required to be preserved need to be passed on to the successive generation. It is the need of education that gradually gives rise to a philosophy of education. According to the above gradation, this unit is divided into following two parts. Part 1, definition and meaning of education. Part 2, aims of education in global perspectives. Objectives. Explain the important feature of term education, discuss the basic concept, nature and scope of education, determine the aims of education in global perspectives, elaborate in detail education for character, culture and vocation, discuss education for individual development and social efficiency, explain the aims of education in Muslim society. Definition and meaning of education. Of all the creation of God, human life is the most sacred. It has two aspects, the biological and the sociological. While the bibliographical aspect of human life is maintained and transmitted by nutrition and reproduction, the social aspect of human life is maintained and transmitted by education. In primitive society, the primary needs of a man comprised food, clothing, and shelter. With the progress of society and civilization, however, these primary needs have been raised six ways: food, clothing, shelter, education, recreation, and health. Man is primarily distinguishable from the lower animals because of his ability to acquire education. He is endowed with intelligence. He wants to remain active, energetic, and even original. He desires to go ahead. This list of human achievements is very big. How has all this been done? Through education. It is education which promotes the intelligence, enables him to be industrious, and ensures his progress. What is education? Education is a fundamental question which has been exercising the minds of philosophers and thinkers from Socrates and Plato down to Allama Iqbal and Devi. The word education has a very wide meaning and it is very difficult to give it a precise definition. A biologist, a psychologist, philosopher, a teacher, merchant, shopkeeper, all of them supposed to be having intelligence will give widely different definitions. These definitions, whether however were serious, determined by their own perspectives, outlook on life, developed through the training they had and the circumstances they were in, would be contradictory rather than complementary to one another. Education is an attempt to develop the man. Number one, education is an attempt on the part of adult member of the human society to shape the development of the coming generation in accordance with its own ideals of life. Number two, it is effort to secure for everyone the conditions under which individuality is to the maximum developed. Under such conditions, the attributes of ideal manhood or womanhood are developed. Number three, in the words of John Dewey, education is the development of all those capacities in the individual which will enable him to control his environment and fulfill his possibilities. By capacities, it means physical, mental, and moral capacities. Sir T.P. Nunn says the same thing in the different words. Education is the complete development of the individuality of the child so that he can make an original contribution to human life according to the best of his capacity. That person is completely developed who has the power of understanding, observation, and objectivity. He can adapt himself to the ever changing social environment. Education means to the modification of behavior. Education means modification of behavior. Education is the activity or a process which transforms the behavior of a person from instinctive behavior to human behavior. For example, education gives a new shapes to man. It was Ruskin who said, "You do not educate a man by telling him what he knows not, but by making him what he was not." Elaborating this point, we can say education made the mind. If the mind is the man, it is education which makes a man a good man or a bad man according to its education's content, its nature and its methods. सो स्टूडेंट्स, आपको यहाँ से अंदाज़ा हो गया होगा इस डेफिनेशन से कि एजुकेशन ही इंसान को इंसान भी बनाती है और हैवान भी. एजुकेशन इज़ एन एक्ट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग. एजुकेशन इज़ अ conscious purpose to train the children for fulfilling the responsibilities of the adult life. Animals are also trained by copying the actions of the adults, but in their training the purpose is neither conscious nor well designed. Since the children have to enter a complicated society when they grow adults, education gives them training for adult life. It develops in them thinking and reasoning power in order to enable them to rise to the occasion when they are faced with the pressing problems of home, community, and world. An individual needs training to use his own reason to that, thereby he may learn to live an orderly life or a moral life. Education is direction. How education is direction? Educating a child means directing the child properly. It is the primary concern of education to direct the undeveloped capacities, attitudes, interests, urges, and the needs of the young people into the most desirable channels. Children are born with natures. These instincts have to be properly directed in order that their satisfaction may be socially acceptable. Children have many hungers. They have hunger for play, for asking questions, to know the world around them, and for receiving attention from their elders and all their दिस हंगर हैव टू बी सेटिस्फाइड। जहाँ पर इनके अंदर इतनी हंगर्स होती हैं, अक्सर स्टूडेंट्स मेरे से ये पूछते हैं कि सर कोई ऐसा फार्मूला बताएं कि हम कॉर्पोरल पनिशमेंट से जो है वो हट जाएं। तो ये बहुत बड़ा फार्मूला है कि उनकी जो हंगर्स हैं उनको पकड़ें, ठीक है। when you will catch the hunger of a student, then you will detect the hunger of a student, then you will be a good teacher। आप देखें कि वो किस चीज़ से घबरा रहा है, ठीक है, कौन सी चीज़ है जिसकी उसको तलाश है, क्या वो खेलने के लिए तड़पता है, तो अगर वो आपका काम नहीं करता तो आप उसे खेलने से मना कर दें, ठीक है। और अगर वो छुट्टी के लिए तड़पता है, यानी मुझे छुट्टी जल्दी दे दें, और अगर वो आपका काम नहीं करता तो आप उसकी छुट्टी लेट करें या उसकी छुट्टी बंद करें, ठीक है। मेन चीज़ पनिशमेंट जो है वो ये ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप जिस्म पे जो है वो निशान डाल दें और मार मार के टांगे बाजू तोड़ दें। मेन चीज़ है उसकी हंगर तलाश करें, आपकी उसकी हंगर क्या है, वो खेलना चाहता है, जो जिस चीज़ पे उसकी भूख होगी, और वो आप जब उसे कंट्रोल करेंगे, उसे उस भूख से दूर करेंगे, उस भूख को पूरा करने के लिए वो दुनिया का हर काम करेगा। सो ट्राई टू फाइंड द हंगर ऑफ अ स्टूडेंट। In conclusion, it may be said that education is wise direction. In the process of direction, both the direct way and the indirect way are useful. Poor direction will create self-centered personality, while careful direction will produce socially responsive personality. Education is integrated growth and development. Man undergoes many changes and transformations throughout his career. These changes are physical, emotional, and mental. Whenever there are these changes, there is growth. Growth, therefore, is the enlargement of physical organs and mental functions. It is conditioned by two factors. For number one, training, and number two is environment. When every person acts, reacts, or interacts as his environments permit, and as his training makes him capable of these, he is thus transformed from the original natures to a different shape. All these processes of transformation are process of growth, and thus processes of education. Growing is education, and getting education is growing. Who is capable of growing? The immature person. It is the immature person who is eager to grow, and in this he must be helped. Immaturity in a person is showed by two characters. Number one, dependence, and number two is plasticity. He is dependent upon the mature person because he lacks certain strengths which would hold him in life. The dependence helps him in growing. His growth is helped because he is sensitive and responsive to the man and situations around him. Education is continuous reorganization and integration of activities of experiences. Growth never stops. Growth kabhi nahi rukti. It goes on constantly and throughout life. No one can say that he has fully grown. कोई बंदा ये नहीं कह सकता कि वो मुकम्मल तौर पर ग्रोथ कर गया या ग्रो हो गया है. There is always a scope to grow more and more right down to the day of grave. If education is growth, then education also never stops. It continues life. It never ends with school life. It goes on in the school and goes on even after the school. Learning or education is not restricted to any particular period of life. It is for whole life. The chief function of the school is to so organize the powers of growth. The school should so train the child that it not only prepares him for the life but should also enable him to go on learning as long as he lives. Education is emancipations. एजुकेशन इज़ एमेंसिपेशन, फ्रीडम, जिसे हम फ्रीडम कहते हैं, फ्रॉम इग्नोरेंस. यानी किस चीज़ से फ्रीडम है आपको, ये नहीं कि आप लोगों को बिल्कुल छोड़ दिया जाएगा, नहीं, फ्रीडम फ्रॉम इग्नोरेंस. द एमेंसिपेट्स द पर्सन, इट एमेंसिपेट्स द पर्सन फ्रॉम द dictatorship of the small self, and educated person becomes generous and social. Education means enabling the mind to find out that ultimate truth which emancipates us from the bondage of the dust and gives us the wealth not of the things hurt of inner life but power but of the love making the truth its own and giving expression to it. H.G. Wells says that one could define education as the lifting of mind out of the blind alleys. Education is influence. Yes, education is the influence of the environment upon the individual. Such an influence brings a change in his habits of behavior, of thought, and of attitude. Through such an influence, the individual develops all those capacities which enables him to control his environment, adjust himself to that environment, realize his possibilities, and fulfills them in a social desirable manner. When we say that education is an influence of the environment, we envisage two meaning of education. Number one is the wider meaning and the number two is the narrower meaning. And then education is influence, wider meaning. In wider sense, education includes every influence in life over our character and faculties are influenced by various factors: the home life, the social life, the form of government, climatic or natural environment, the radio, the press, the hobbies, the recreation, the friendships, the travels, the school, etc. All these are agencies of education, but they accept the school represent informal education. Their teaching is indirect. They do not have formal methods of teaching. It is therefore truly said, it is really life that educates. Lodge said, life is education and education is life. Edward Thing elaborated this point further and remarked, narrower meaning. In the narrower sense of education, consists of the specific influences consciously designed in a school to bring in the development and growth of the child. The school represents formal education as it imparts education directly and systematically. Without such informal education, it is not possible to transmit all the resources and achievements of all complex society. According to John Davy, the school exists to provide a special environment for the formative years of human life. School is consciously designed institutions, the sole concern of which is to educate the child. In world school, we include the whole machinery of education from kindergarten to the university. Main points: the education is a process which has psychological as well as sociological aspects. The study of the child's native power is as important as the development of social consciousness in the individual through education. In the wider sense, education means the process of development influenced by everything in life. In the narrower sense, education includes a few special influences having a bearing on the development of the child. These influences affect the child through a specialized agency called the school. Education is more comprehensive than instructions, and which merely means growth and transmission of knowledge. Education is a formal or informal, positive or negative, directed or indirected, specific or general. Education is needed for living a social, desirable life, for renewing and rebuilding the social fabric. Education carries out its social function through the school as a special environment. It prepares the pupils for the responsibilities about life, discipline, and the mind, and reorganizes and reconstructs human experiences. Aims of education in global perspectives. Education is necessary for the survival of the society. What is that the education should be trying to do? What are its goals? Aim enables us to act with meaning. It gives direction to the activity. Absence of an aim in education makes it a blind alley. Different educational thinkers at various times in various countries have cast a glance at aims of education. Aims of education in global perspectives, determining aims of education. The aims of education cannot be just pulled out of a hat. The problem of searching the aims of education can be approached into two ways. Number one, idealistic way, and the realistic way is idealistic way. In an idealistic and advanced community, the aims of education are determined or influenced by higher ideals of life. There the point of view is general and not specific. There the focus is at the ultimate and not at the immediate. Number two is, in such a society, education is for the general development of a person. It is education for character, for individual and social development, for culture, for mental discipline, for knowledge, for knowledge sake, and so on. Aims of education in perspectives, realistic approach. The realistic way of approaching the aims of education is to take the consideration the exciting existing state of the society, the main philosophy of life, the political ideologies, the social problem, and the economic condition go a long way in determining the aims of education. Prevailing number 2 pointer, prevailing philosophy of life is always reflected in the aims of education. In the peaceful days of Plato, he wanted the guardians of the state to be philosophical, high spirited, and strong. Locke emphasized the disciplined and well ordered mind. The aims of education for Puritans are have faith in the goodness and do your duty. According to Jewish philosophy, the aims of man should be to do the will of God. A pessimistic philosophy of a life gives pessimistic aims of education. An optimistic attitude towards life lays down optimistic aims of education. The Education Acts of 1944 in England laid down as the objective of education happier childhood and the better start in life. During the First World War, the Americans started their aim of education. Education should be guided by a clear conception of the meaning of democracy. Education for vocation. The primary needs of man are food, clothing, and shelter. If education does not enable us to provide these, all other ideals of education are useless. Industrialization and mechanization of the present age has further emphasized the claim of vocational aim of education, which is also called the bread and butter aim. The child of today is a citizen of tomorrow, and such he has to earn his living. He cannot and should not be a drag on the society. If every parent, when sending his child to the school, prays and wishes that his son should be so educated that he is able to earn very honorable living. Education for knowledge. Knowledge is a power by which things are done, said Socrates. That is the reason that some educators very strongly advocate that the aim of education should be the acquisition of knowledge. They believe that every advance in knowledge has a practical bearing on life, either on the material or on the mental side. It is knowledge that has enabled humanity to make progress. Human greatness is measured by power of thought. Both Bacon and Comenius wanted all knowledge for all education is training for life, for complete living, the live life well. First of all, it is essential to know life. Knowledge of it life comes through intellectual training, which results in power to understand the world. Man becomes resourceful through knowledge. It fits the mind of anything, everything, and all things. Fuller knowledge of man and things creates human value in man. Education for culture. Knowledge for knowledge's sake has been advocated by many, just as an artist with high ideal practices of art for art and not for any obvious material again. Similarly, idealistic believe that knowledge should be secured for knowledge's sake. Such a knowledge in the words of newsman will create attributes like freedom, equitableness, calmness, moderation, and wisdom. With the development of these attributes, a man is sure to fare better in every walk of life. It is knowledge which leads to culture. Culture means something cultivated as a result of a long experience of the race, something refined, ripened. It is respectiveness of beauty and human feelings, worthwhile experiences of the race may me so adopted in the mind that they improve the quality of the mind, and that mind is called a cultured mind. The next is education for character. On being asked what is your what is your goal in education, we can say character building. I would try to develop courage, strength, virtue, and the ability of forget oneself in working towards great aims. I should feel that if we succeed in building the character of the individual, society will take care of itself. In the world of Raymond, the teacher's ultimate concern is to cultivate not wealth of muscle for fullness of knowledge, nor refinement of feeling, but strength and purity of character. To him, ethical aim is supreme. Education finds its real meaning and value when its aim is character building. Education for character was emphasized by Aristotle in ancient times and in the 19th century by Herbert, for whom the whole problem of education may be comprised of a single concept, morality. The next is Squire Brown sent his son Tom to the school not very much for intellectual achievement as for making him brave, helpful, truthful Englishman, a gentleman, and a Christian man. Arnold of Rugby wanted his students to become Christian gentlemen. Formation of character, therefore, is the most important aim of education. John Davies said, "All education forms character, mental, and moral." We can describe the importance of character building as in the aim of education in the following words. If you have integrated fine ideas and made them the basis of your life and character, you have more education than any man who has got by heart a whole library. Without character, no one can even utilize the knowledge gathered by him. Education for layer. One of the most significant contribution of science to the modern world has been to increase the amount of layer. The labor-saving machines have relieved us from the work of labor. Rapid means of transformation and communication have reduced the time and space. Working hours have been reduced and they will be reduced still. When cheap atomic power is available, man would need to work only for 3 to 4 hours a day in order to supply his needs. The rest of the hours would be a period of leisure or a time of for the daily needs of a man. This new surplus economy would discuss on us plenty of layers. Education for individual development. Individuality is the ideal of life. Thus observed Sir Percy Nunn and added that a scheme of education is ultimately to be valued by its success in fostering the highest degree of individual excellence, promoting the individual development as the aims of education. Sir Percy Nunn believes that nothing good enters into the human world except in and through the free activities of individual man and woman. Educational practice must be shaped to accord with that truth. His belief in this aim is based on the fact that individual is the architect of his own destiny. His, he is responsible for his own destiny. Education, therefore, must cater for the complete development of an individual. Education for social efficiency. Education for individual development is good, but not looking beyond individualism shows narrowness. Can we think of an individual living and developing in isolation from society? In view of Rousseau's verdict that society corrupts the man, there might appear certain hatred between the claims of the individual and those of the society, but in fact there should be no conflict between the two. Man is a social animal. Without society, he is either a beast or an angel. Since he is neither of the two but a rational social being, the aim of education should be social efficiency. However, so ever developed the individual may be, his success in his depends upon social efficiency. Education for complete living. All the aims discussed above are partially aims, each one emphasizing one or the other factor of life, may be individual, moral, social, or economic. The ideal search should be for a fuller aim. Can all these aims be summed into one? According to Hume, there is no one final aim subordinating all lesser aims of itself. Any number of aims may be had, all differing yet all consistent. There is something in all these aims, but not everything in any of them. Herbert Spencer, however, has suggested an aim which is all inclusive, complete, and comprehensive. This aim is education for complete living. Is there anything under the sun which cannot be included under this aim? The life is of course exceedingly complex, and learning the art of life should be the greatest aim of education. All the developments, activities, and needs of an individual to play his drama of life can well be classified under two broad heads: development and enrichment of personality, fitting the individual for a life with fellows not only in his immediate surroundings but throughout the world. Aims of education in global perspectives. Can there be any universal aim? A very significant question may be asked. Can there be one end or aim to which all other close aims converge? The answer to this is yes. None of the above aims are independent and exclusive for each other. They are not dismembered parts, but they give the impression of a whole. They are not inconsistent to each other. They are complementary to each other. All these aims can be summed up in one sentence: education must serve as a mean of promoting the highest good. We can have no single one of these desirable object in full measure. Knowledge, self development, vocational and social training, best of all wisdom, without having some of the other also. The next is aim of education in the Muslim society. It is the culture, says T. Badmals, in which education germinates and flowers. The sole aim of education in the cultural perspective of Islam is to prepare man for worship, that is, for fulfilling his obligation to God, community, and his own self in the best possible way. This is how we can develop in him God consciousness. Education aims at the growth of both the individual and the society. The growth of God consciousness determining the direction in which either of them is to grow. Growth of the individual. All education aims at the growth of the individual, but the principle of growth differs from culture to culture. This principle in the culture of Islam is the principle of Tawheed and oneness of God. It develops the trait of God consciousness, taqwa, in the totality of man's being in such a way that his conduct becomes a model of compassion, raham, and forgiveness. Growth of the society. Education is a social institution. It provides for the growth of the individual as well as for the growth and stability of society, just as Tawheed is the principle of the growth of the unity of the individual, of Risalat is the principle of the growth and stability of the society. The essence of Tawheed is unity, solidarity, and freedom. The essence of Risalat as working principle is the respect of the humanity. It abhors the distinctions of caste, color, creed, clan, race, blood, and language, and ensures as against these the growth of society in the direction of universal brotherhood, religious tolerance, and economic and social justice. The law of Islam strikes a balance between the growth of the individual and that of the society. Aims of education in global perspective. Thus, the education in Islam serves a two-fold purpose. It aims at producing ideal individuals, ever conscious of God, given to kindness and forgiveness on the one hand, and the establishing a humanity-oriented ideal society on the other hand, given to the universal brotherhood, religious tolerance, and legal, economic, and social justice. It is in such an ideal society alone that we can fulfill our duties to God, community, and our own selves in the best possible way. Conclusion. The educators must have an intelligence contact with the aim of education. Number two, the social aim has many interpretations. The state of society as a dictator in matter of education. Number B, the state of exercise of paternal authority responsible for citizenship training. The social aim may lead the social efficiency through social occupations and the positive use of power of individuals in these occupations. The gaining of knowledge is essential for an educated person, and in ideal schools should communicate knowledge of all subjects to all men and women. It helps in realizing other aims. Knowledge of some sort of the other is necessary for a well adjusted life. The aim of life education is formulated and expounded. The Spencer is said to be fully comprehensive. The mountains and that education is to inform us with the laws and ways of complete living, personal, social, political, and religious living. Conclusion number 5 point is that education implies the harmonious cultivation of the physical, intellectual, and moral side of human nature in the order of produce as well balanced personality. Number 6, the teacher ultimate concern is to cultivate strength and purity of character. Content some educators other aims are subordinate to it. The teacher through instruction is to impart higher ideas to the child with which the latter would control his improper desires. The child's character is to be modified and socially desirable moral virtues are to be cultivated. Education is to increase human happiness through the satisfaction of human wants. Individual happiness is on this basis may be in conflict with that of society. Number 9 is the mission of the aim of in education is a constant one. The aim suitable at one time and for one country does not suit all times and all places. Education is a dynamic force. Moreover, each aim concentrates on a certain aspect of a complicated process of education. Thank you. If you like the video, then kindly subscribe the channel Aga English Grammar Tips for more updates. Allah Hafiz.